Ryan,
All right.
round 2.
What do you mean, round 2, Dave? Nothing happened. This is the first time we've started streaming,
What are we
isn't
doing
it?
today, Ryan?
Today, this time. Actually, hang on. Look, I'll give it a proper intro. Has anyone got the live link?
The
Hang on,
live
there we go.
link?
I'm looking for that now.
Get in the chat.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
We're live.
Alrighty.
Pop out.
We're live. We're going. Nothing went wrong. Not a single thing.
What the hell's the Shield, Ryan?
Well, Dave, the Shield is one of, if not the greatest faction of the modern era in WWE. Even though, to be honest, they started in what probably isn't classified as the modern era anymore because it's been over 12 years.
Yeah, fair enough.
But this is the Shield. We're going to go through it today. You're going to break down everything you need to know. Everything from when this faction first came together. Take two. From when this faction first came together to when they broke up and what all three respective members have done all the way up until the beginning of 2024, because that's when I decided to stop. You'll see why. There's a very definitive point that we can use as an end point here.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Dave,
Okay.
I suppose I should talk more to Ollie for this first bit, since Dave already knows it all. We need to talk about what WWE was like at the end of 2012, because that's where our story starts. We're firmly in the PG era, Ollie. It's the era where WWE went full family friendly, and to be frank, it's a bit shit. It's all John Cena. That's all it is. It's John Cena winning everything. Even though CM Punk is the world champion for most of 2012, it's still John Cena. He constantly goes in the main event over the world championship. He's selling all the merch. He's hugging all the kids. He's granting all the make a wishes. All of this shit. And it just makes for some really stale and boring TV. We want something new. We want something fresh. And we're going to get it in a few years. But before then, the Shield debuts. Survivor Series 2012 is November. CM Punk's defending the world title against John Cena and Ryback. You don't need to know who Ryback is. It doesn't matter. He's literally, this is the only time I'm going to mention him. Oh. The Shield, they jump the barricade in these weird turtleneck jumpers. They put Ryback through a table. They help CM Punk win retain the WWE Championship. So who the heck are these guys? Well, they ditched the turtlenecks and got some actually decent looking gear. On the left here, we have Dean Ambrose. He's the loose cannon. He's the main talker of the group as well. He's the one that has the best mic skills, so he mostly talks for the group. He has this sort of scrappy fighting style. On the right, you've got Seth Rollins. He's the high flyer, the technician, the strategist of the group. Roman Reigns in the middle, the strong, silent badass. That's all he needs to be.
It's us.
It's us.
It is. It is.
Which one of us is the high flyer, Dave?
I'm allowing someone else to decide who's who. They do look so greasy. I was thinking that earlier. It's like a requirement to wet up your hair before you get a photo shoot happen.
Oh, they do. When they show footage like before the Shield came out, because the Shield they have well. To be fair, actually, I am too. Now I'm looking at it. It's fine. But yeah,
okay,
they win a bunch. Roman and Seth win the tag titles. Dean wins the US titles. They hold those for the majority of 2013, just winning all the time. This is the thing I said the first time. We actually end up just kind of skipping over most of their time actually together as a faction, because it's very simple. They just keep winning. There's not really much to it on a complex scale. They're bad guys for most of it. They kind of act like hired guns for main event heels and stuff like that.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
How many of the belts on screen right now do you own?
None, because by the time I started buying belts, they'd replaced all of these belts with new designs. So I don't own any of these. I wouldn't really want those tag titles anyway because they look crap. So
I mean, they don't look great.
No, believe it or not, they actually get worse before they get better. So
what about the one that's America?
They make that kind of less, but also more America when they redesign it in about 2020 is when they redesign it. So, you know, it looks all right. I just never bought it. But anyway, we get to the start of 2014, and they start bickering because what's a faction supposed to do in wrestling but win for a while and then break up? Roman and Dean mainly have the tensions. They did get worse. I don't know if we'll have a picture of them come up, but when we get to it, I will point out that they look worse. Yeah, so they have a big Shield summit, and it's like, oh, the Shield going to break up? What's going to happen? No, they're fine. They just carry on for like a few more months. They lose to the White family. They win at WrestleMania. They beat up a bunch of old dudes. Then they feud with Evolution, which are a bunch of Wyatt.
Okay.
I thought he said white as well. I was like, well,
Oh, they're like, what?
Well, okay.
What?
So their gimmick is like that they were like a bunch of southern cult swamp people. So they are very white.
What?
oh,
Okay.
yeah.
But after WrestleMania, they have a feud with Evolution, which is Triple H, Randy Orton, and Dave Bautista. The Shield just win unexpectedly. We expected there to be like some shenanigans because the Shield turned good guys at the start of 2014. But no, they just win a load. It was like the Shield are riding high. Nothing can stop them. Betrayal, Ollie.
Betrayal.
Oh, no.
Betrayal. Seth Rollins smashes Roman Reigns in the back with a chair. He beats up Dean Ambrose as well.
Secretly
He
got him
joins-
to watch him fail. That's betrayal.
He joins Triple H. So it's catastrophic. These guys have been brothers for a year. So they're obviously all gonna explode into a big blood feud after this. Well, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose do. They change up
We
their
just go back
looks.
to that last slide for a second.
Yep.
Why does he have a hammer?
That's a sledgehammer.
Ugly
That's
man in
just
the middle.
For wrestling.
Triple H's signature weapon is a sledgehammer.
It's for wrestling.
sure.
He never actually like swings it at people. They always do that thing where they cover the end of it and they like bash him in the face with it. That's all I have to say about that.
Go on. Yep.
The chair shot will be far more important to this story than the sledgehammer.
Okay.
So yeah, these two guys, they change up their looks. Dean Ambrose, he becomes like the lunatic fringe. He starts wearing these tank tops, jeans. He keeps that scrappy wrestling style. Unfortunately, it's a PG era, so he can't do anything actually like fucked up. He just squirts Seth Rollins in the face with mustard and stuff. And oh, isn't it wacky? But it's fine. Dean Ambrose himself is a good wrestler and charismatic enough that people still like him. Seth Rollins, meanwhile, he becomes the corporately backed, chosen one, the future of the company. Because Triple H, as well as being a wrestler, is also, in real life, he's the COO of WWE at this point in time. So they bring that into storyline. Roman Reigns, meanwhile, doesn't change at all. And he also seemingly doesn't care that his brother stabbed him in the back or anything like that. He keeps the vest. He keeps the Shield's old theme music. They remove the Shield intro to it, but he's literally just Roman Reigns is the Shield now, but there's only one of him.
Just like when Axl Rose took on the title of Guns N' Roses.
What a great metaphor, Dave, that you just came up with off the top of your head. Yeah, he's like Roman Reigns immediately starts going into world title matches and stuff whilst Seth and Dean have this blood feud. Because we're in 2014 now. John Cena's starting to go Hollywood, so he's becoming more and more part-time. And Vince McMahon wants a new John Cena more than anything else. And he's decided Roman Reigns is going to be the new John Cena, despite the fact that Roman Reigns can't do any of the things that made John Cena really popular. Because John Cena was this clear, quippy babyface, that kind of thing. Roman Reigns is more the strong, silent, badass type. He hasn't really developed his microphone skills at this point in time, his talking skills, and he's not great as a singles wrestler either. But Vince McMahon's certain he's going to push him. He even goes as far as to give him blue contact lenses, so he's this blue-eyed baby face to change his image. And fans immediately cotton on to this like corporate. But because also fans don't want a new John Cena because they've had John Cena for the past decade and it's been really boring.
It does look awful.
It does look awful. But for the rest of 2014, Seth and Dean carry on. This is their big blow-off Hell in a Cell match. That's quite a good match. But the main thing is midway through 2014, Seth Rollins wins the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, Ollie, I hear the question before it's even come out of your lips. Ryan, what in the heck is this Money in the Bank briefcase? That's nonsense speak.
I assumed it was just like... I just assumed it was some sort of like corporate crossover with Deal or No Deal, but
yeah,
I'm happy to learn otherwise.
If only. No, around start of summer every year, We have a big old match with like 6 or 8 guys. The briefcase hangs above the ring. The other dudes, they got to have a big ladder match, and they got to climb the ladder, retrieve the briefcase. Once you have the briefcase, at any point for the next year, you can run down to the ring, cash it in, and right then and there, you get a world title shot immediately, no matter what else is happening. So it's one of these things. You win this briefcase, you're basically guaranteed to become world champion at some point. And Seth now has that, which will come back later. Meanwhile, fans are really starting to turn on Roman Reigns. And as we get to January 2015, fans are really, really going to turn on him. To explain why, we first have to talk about Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is one of the indie darling types. He came up through the indie wrestling scene. He's only like 5'9". He's muscled, but not like the WWE standard of typical big 6'5" muscly guy. But he's also the best wrestler in the world, arguably one of the best wrestlers of all time. True. Daniel Bryan does fit in with our look.
Yeah, I guess he does.
Yeah. Yeah, he's also this highly skilled wrestler with bucket loads of charisma and uses a style that hasn't really been in the main event scene in WWE in a while. So the fans, they love this guy, even though Vince desperately wants him to not be world champion. They try so hard. The previous year's WrestleMania 30, was originally going to be a really boring snooze fest between Randy Orton and Batista, because this is right after Batista's been in Guardians of the Galaxy, so he's suddenly a big star. But the fans are like, no, we want Daniel Bryan, and we're going to throw a hissy fit about it until you put Daniel Bryan in the main event. So they did. And years later, they tried to claim that it was always the plan, and they're lying. But Daniel Bryan wins in WrestleMania in 2014 at WrestleMania 30. He becomes world champion. But unfortunately, like 2 months later, he gets a neck injury. He has to vacate the title. And he's out for most of the year. But it's okay, because he comes back just before the Royal Rumble in 2015. And the Royal Rumble is a big annual event every year. 30 guys get into the ring one by one. If you get thrown out of the ring, you're eliminated. And the winner goes on to the main event of WrestleMania. It's like winning the Royal Rumble is like the second biggest thing you can do in the wrestling world outside of winning a world title. Yes,
Are there ever just like actually 30 guys in the ring at the same time, or is it sort of more like a stagger thing? They don't let more guys out.
No, so so they do have those. They have regular battle royals where everyone starts in the ring at once and throws out. But the Royal Rumble is more of a, how many annual events? They're monthly. Pay-per-views are monthly.
But, okay, but if you start with 30 guys in the ring, like, surely you just start, like, is it a mosh pit? Like, what?
Yeah, pretty much. This is why the Royal Rumble is more staggered. The entrants are staggered every 90 seconds, and it's the most consistently fun event of the year, because you can just do so many fun little things in it and have fun little stories. And also, you know, you have the mystique of like counting down to the entrance, and then the music hits, and it can be surprises and people you don't expect, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a great time. But so Daniel Bryan returns, the hero of the people returns before the Royal Rumble 2015. Everyone immediately goes, well, that's it. That's the story. Daniel Bryan returns. He wins the Royal Rumble. He goes on to win back the title that he never lost. He barely got to have a reign with because of the injury that happened. It's perfect. Why would you ever do anything else? Daniel Bryan gets eliminated almost halfway through the match. And the fans are not happy.
No!
There's this wonderful moment where he hits the floor and gets eliminated, where there's this gasp of silence before the fans will go, wait, no, hang on, boo, what the fuck? And another detail I forgot to mention the first time round, so it's good that we did this again. The next entrant in the match is a guy called Goldust, who we're not going to get into. But his entrance starts, his Titantron is like a fake movie intro, and the words are Shattered Dreams Productions. So Daniel Bryan gets eliminated, everyone's cross, and the word Shattered Dreams appears on the screen.
Who's Goldust, Ryan?
No, we're not doing it.
No?
No, we're not getting into Goldust.
No?
I can't get into Goldust.
What?
Just Google Goldust.
Who's Stardust, Ryan?
Oh, we will get to Stardust, actually.
Ollie?
I'm just waiting for Ollie to see an image of Goldust.
I mean,
Look, Google Goldust in your own time. He's not relevant to this story.
It was in drag at one point, I guess.
Yep.
I mean, go off, I guess.
So, okay, fuck it. We'll talk a little bit about Goldust.
Hey, woo!
Goldust is a weird character who showed up at the start of like a sort of the mid-late 90s where, you know, homophobic panic was still very much in the air. And he kind of tapped into that to be a weird character. He even apparently at one point pitched to Vince McMahon that he genuinely get breast implants to make the weird vibe of his character and the androgynous vibe of his character stand out even more. That's as much as I'm willing to go into that because it's so very problematic.
Yeah, and then they've had a lot of outfits since then.
Yep,
most of them terrible.
Yep. As I say, we will get into
serving.
Yep. He's the brother of Cody Rhodes, who is Stardust, who we'll get into later on in this story. But anyway, for now, Daniel Bryan's been eliminated from the Royal Rumble. The idea, WWE's idea behind this was, we'll eliminate Daniel Bryan early, the fans will mourn it, get over it, and then when Roman Reigns comes in, the fans will be all behind him as the new hero. That doesn't happen. Fans immediately start booing the shit out of him the moment he appears on the screen. Because to be honest, they don't wait long enough, aside from it was never going to work anyway, but they don't wait long enough. Daniel Bryan gets eliminated just before entrant number 15, and Roman Reigns comes in at 19. So the fans are very much not over it by the time Roman Reigns comes into the match. He eventually wins the Royal Rumble. They even bring The Rock out to try and get this guy over. This was another detail I forgot to mention. These two are cousins. Roman Reigns is The Rock's cousin. The fans even continue relentlessly booing The Rock, which does lead to this amazing image where The Rock is holding up Roman Reigns' hand in victory. The crowd is relentlessly booing him, and The Rock just looks around and goes, huh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he seems very confused.
Yes, he does. And this is where Roman Reigns as a concept fundamentally breaks. He was the wrong guy at the wrong time when the fans desperately wanted something else. And wrestling fans hold fucking grudges. And we never forgave Roman Reigns for this. For the next 6 years, whenever he gets anywhere close to a world title, or frankly even appears on screen, the fans just boo and go into this anyone but you sort of mindset. And it's just this complete disconnect between the story WWE is telling us and what we're actually experiencing, you know? But it's a done deed now. And you might be wondering, I haven't really mentioned Dean Ambrose since the Shield broke up. Mm-hmm. You might be wondering what he's doing.
Yep.
He's losing to an exploding television. Moving on.
Sure. Yeah, no. As one does.
Yep. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, the main event of WrestleMania 31. This is kind of a match that no one really wants to see, because also the rumor was Brock was going to be leaving the company after this. He ends up not, but he was going to be. Spoilers for later, these two are going to have a lot of matches and most of them are terrible. This one's actually the only one that's quite good. They have this fun sort of surprisingly brutal brawl, and it works. But people still don't want to see Roman Reigns win. Whenever it looks like Roman Reigns might be about to win, people boo it down relentlessly. But WWE, they read the room, and they do what is potentially, it might be second place now, but what is potentially my favorite WWE moment of all time, where in the climax of the match, Seth Rollins' music hits, he runs down with the Money in the Bank briefcase, he inserts himself into the match, and just like that, he walks away world champion. So even after stabbing Roman Reigns in the back, he walks away as a world champion. He's the first member of the Shield to become world champion after they break up. I thought he was
going to say DK Crew. I really thought he was going to say it.
And 2015, we're mostly just going to fast forward through, because it is just a pretty standard world title reign for Seth Rollins. He fights both Roman and Dean various times, but because he's this corporately backed champion, people keep interfering on his behalf to make him retain the title. Also in the middle of this, Sheamus wins Money in the Bank for this year. We don't need to know much about Sheamus, but you need to know that he has the briefcase for what's about to happen later on.
It looks like he's got a reverse arse on in this picture, don't it?
Yeah,
he's got an arse in the front. What's going on?
The So we get to November 2015 Survivor Series. It's meant to be Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, in which I have those circles. Yeah, it's the Ouroboros symbol in it. So
What did you do? You can't
Delete it. I think it's supposed to be.
He's already
I think
called
it's supposed to be hate.
Ryan's already called it out.
Rip.
Right.
But yeah. So, but that match can't go ahead because Seth Rollins gets injured at a live event. He blows out his MCL and ACL. He's going to be out for like 8 months. He has.
And then you typo again. Oh my god. Incredible.
Very good, very good. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so Seth Rollins has to vacate the title because of injury a couple weeks before the event. WWE instead hold a tournament to crown a new WWE champion. The final is Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns wins. Finally, Vince McMahon gets his wish. Roman Reigns is WWE champion. Everyone still hates it, but confetti's raining down. What a wonderful moment this looks like. Then Sheamus comes down, cashes in his Money in the Bank briefcase, and Roman immediately loses the title less than 5 minutes later. Look how sad he is. This is one of those things where it was awful, but it was also kind of a savvy move, because Sheamus is one of those guys who is just so boring as a wrestler, or at least he was at this point in time, that people would cheer Roman Reigns over him because they just hate Sheamus so much. And it worked for one night. Basically, they have one match where Roman Reigns wins the WWE title back. He punches Vince McMahon in the face, who was the special guest referee, for reasons that just don't matter. And for one night, everyone cheers him. Those two who are holding him up, by the way, are the Usos. They are also his cousins. They are twins. They'll become relevant later.
They're always relevant later.
But the Authority is not done stacking the odds against Roman Reigns. We come to Royal Rumble 2016. This time, it's different. For the second time in history, the Royal Rumble is not for the main event of WrestleMania. It's for the WWE Championship.
Oh my god.
Roman Reigns is forced to put the title on the line in the Royal Rumble, and they force him to enter it at number 1, which means he's got to go the whole distance, and this is like an hour-long match.
It's impossible.
It is impossible, because do you know who enters at number 30? Who? The final entrant? It's Triple H.
Oh my... He set it up! He set
it up! Triple H comes in. He steals the WWE Championship from Roman Reigns. It's a dastardly move, and commentary treat him like a conquering hero. They're like, oh, what a... Triple H is a 14-time world champion. What an epic thing. When it's actually like this supposed to be this dastardly heel move that he's done. Commentary don't sell it at all. Mm-hmm. So then the main event of WrestleMania 32 is set. Roman Reigns versus Triple H in a match that no one wants to see, and it's half an hour long, and it's one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time. But it's okay, because they did this last year, didn't they? They set up a bad match, but then they pulled the parachute. They found an awesome way to get out of it. Not this year. Roman Reigns just wins and everyone boos.
What's up with the symbol on his shirt? It looks like
It's like a little spider thing, and it's supposed to be R and R mirrored for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I see. I thought it was like the Bluetooth symbol fused with Spider-Man. You know?
Yeah.
All right, please continue.
Yeah. And again, we've gone a whole year, and I've not mentioned Dean Ambrose. What's Dean Ambrose doing?
Wait a minute. Why has Triple H got a Jolly Roger on his cock?
That is... What is that?
Is that the Beast Pirates?
It's a skull with a crown on it, and then I think sledgehammers coming out of it to mimic Skull and Crossbones.
I haven't seen that crew.
Yeah, doesn't look good. Anyway, Dean Ambrose is just being squashed by Brock Lesnar in a match where Brock Lesnar doesn't even want to be there.
Where is the momentum going in this shot?
So this is a German suplex. Brock has grabbed Dean by the waist and thrown him over his head. I think the idea was supposed to be onto this pile of chairs, but as you can see there, Brock is definitely going to land in the pile of chairs, 100%. And Dean is completely going to miss it.
Yeah, okay.
I like to imagine that Brock is throwing him up in the air like a baby. You know?
If you flip the picture
on his
like
back.
90 degrees,
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
true.
just like cut off like the bottom half of Brock so you couldn't see that he's like neoing right now.
So you might have been able to tell through this. Things aren't going well for Dean Ambrose. It's sort of the backstage people. They treat him like a bit of a top star because people do like him, but they haven't. Like he's not come near the world title scene yet. They're not willing to give him the push until.
Also, he's just fighting in jeans. Like he doesn't even get a good costume. He's just in jeans. Like that's got to be uncomfortable.
It's true. Although I will say this match specifically is a street fight, and typically a street fight in wrestling, you wear jeans. I don't know why. It's just what happens. It makes it seem more gritty, I guess.
I've played Street Fighter before, and I know there's a variety of stages in which you can enjoy the fight of the street. But this one, it does look like an arena.
It does, doesn't it? The thing is, WWE have about 50 different terms for just a regular no disqualification match. It could be a street fight, it could be no holds barred, it could be extreme rules, it can be unsanctioned. You know, they just use them completely interchangeably and it doesn't make any sense. They use the street fight one a lot because then they can name it after where they are. They can call it a Chicago street fight or whatever. Anyway, things are about to turn around for Dean Ambrose though, because he wins Money in the Bank in 2016. Oh my god. And the reason is at Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins has come back from injury. He's now challenging Roman Reigns in the main event of the same show for the WWE Championship. And shockingly, everyone thought Roman Reigns was just going to get a clean win over Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins wins. Clean as a whistle. There's no shenanigans or anything. It turns out this is because Roman Reigns is getting suspended for a drug test violation. But
that makes sense.
But they make something good of it because Seth Rollins wins, and then immediately, less than an hour after he's won it, Dean cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase. He beats Seth Rollins. He becomes WWE champion. All three Sorry, go on.
No, you finish.
All three members of the Shield have held the WWE Championship on the same night.
Wow.
Which means it's finally set up. What should have been, what I think should have been the main event of WrestleMania 32 if Seth hadn't got injured, is finally set up. The three-way match between all three members of the Shield. It's finally here. This epic conclusion to this story since they broke up. Mm-hmm. And they have this match, and it is fine. It's all right. Dean wins.
Sorry, before we move on, why does a drug violation matter?
Yeah, this is what I was going to ask.
So WWE around the mid-2000s had a couple of bad incidents with this kind of thing. Eddie Guerrero dies because of basically painkiller overdoses, that sort of thing, just wearing down on his body. Then in 2007, the Chris Benoit incident happened. Do either of you know what that is?
No.
It sounds familiar. So
Chris Benoit, I'm going to brief it because it's fucking dark. Basically, he commits a double murder-suicide. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people say that, yes, it's got a lot to do with the kind of painkillers and stuff like this that wrestlers would overdose on in this era. Like they did the post-mortem showed that his brain was like equivalent of a 5-year-old in terms of activity when he died, you know? I mean, that also comes from taking lots of blows to the head, but it's very dark. And around that time, WWE like super cracks down on drug policy. They make a super strict drug policy that means it, like in Roman Reigns' case, he gets suspended because he literally just like filled in the wrong form for his prescription medicine for whatever it is, you know. They took it that seriously to try and crack down on that kind of thing.
It's all kind of just optics, right? Like, because obviously the WWE, like they know what drugs everyone are on, so they're just being like, no, we're against drugs. They shouldn't be taking drugs, like, right? Like this is all just an optics thing.
Yeah,
where they want to make it seem like they're a family-friendly brand by being against drugs, right?
Yeah, and it was also, as I say, to calm the press storm that was coming their way after those sorts of incidents in the mid-2000s. So yeah, Roman Reigns gets suspended for 30 days just for... Tia's got it exactly right. That's just what it is. Things are generally a lot better now. You know, you'll occasionally get these old wrestlers complaining that, all these kids in the locker room these days, they're just playing video games. They're not being real men. And they'll all go, well, yeah, but your generation are all dying young because of your massive drug overuse and taking loads of blows to the head and shit. So, actually, I think now's all right.
Yeah, no, I was just confused because it's like, it's not like it's a sporting event, right? It's an entertainment thing.
Yeah.
It's like imagine, Tom Cruise was suspended for a drug violation in like the new Mission Impossible. Like it doesn't mean anything, right? Like he doesn't need to not be on drugs to do that.
Exactly. Anyway, so this point in the story, we have this match. It's fine. Dean wins again. Surprisingly, he retains the WWE Championship. This is because we're in 2016. The brand split is about to happen. What this is WWE has 2 weekly shows. They have Raw and SmackDown. For the past few years, SmackDown has been basically just the Raw recap show. It's been absolutely nothing. But they've got enough guys on the roster now that what they do is they treat the 2 shows as if they're now separate entities. And they draft the roster between the 2 brands. And there's now like a world champion on SmackDown and a world champion on Raw. So it's going to be 2 world champions. Dean gets drafted to SmackDown as the WWE champion. Both Roman and Seth get drafted to Raw as, for what is going to be the new championship. Because think about it, you need to make a new world championship. The WWE championship has all this legacy, all this history. It's the world championship. What's bigger than that? What's bigger than the world? That's right. The universe. The Universal Championship is created.
Is this Fortnite?
It does look like Fortnite. It looks like the Fortnite lobby up screen. Holy shit. Sponsored by KFC.
Yeah.
Sponsored by KFC, yes. But Seth Rollins here, he is in the match to determine the first Universal Champion against a new star on the roster, Finn Balor. And just in case you thought calling it the Universal Championship couldn't get any worse, the belt looks like this. It's horrible. It looks like the WWE Championship, but it's red because they're on Raw, you see, which is red. Finn Balor wins. Seth Rollins loses the match. However, he gets injured in the match and the next night has to vacate the title. So they have another match to determine title, this time a 4-way match between some of the other stars. Both Roman and Seth are in it. It ends when Triple H comes back and he betrays Seth Rollins.
Oh my God.
Which means that Seth Rollins now, by default, is a good guy, despite still kind of being an asshole. But Triple H betrays Seth Rollins, hands the title to Kevin Owens, who is this guy here. He sees out the rest of 2016 as the world champion. Would have been Finn didn't get hurt. Yes, it is a shame because Finn Balor never recovers back into the position that they were going to give him. This thing, it completely derailed his whole career, which was really unfortunate.
Why do we bother?
These things happen. But Kevin Owens did benefit out because he was also a guy who had never been world champion before, and he actually got to have a run, which was quite good. But yeah, both Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are basically chasing after Kevin Owens for the rest of 2016. Nothing particularly important happens as far as their stories are concerned. Go on.
At this point, where is Goldust?
I think Goldust is not with the company at this point.
Oh.
Or either that, or he's descended into the lower card. He's not. I mean, he was never a particularly big star anyway.
Goldust
but he's
deserved better.
He's just kind of floating around.
How many championship titles has Goldust held? Like surely like 40, 50.
He's won some of the mid-card titles a few times, like the secondary singles titles, and he's also been tag champion quite a few times.
He's never been like Universal Champion.
Never anywhere close to being a world champion, no. But I'm glad, just and every now and then, if you want a Goldust update, we can sort that out. So we essentially skip ahead to WrestleMania in April 2017. The 2 big matches, neither of the never escaping Goldie. No, these are the 2 big matches for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Neither of them are title matches, but they are just big matches to put these guys over. Seth Rollins is facing Triple H to cap off that feud where Triple H betrayed him. Again, this is back in like August. Triple H betrayed him, and we waited till April to get the payoff, and this just happens sometimes. Roman Reigns faces The Undertaker in the main event, and this was supposed to be the Undertaker's retirement match, and they do a big thing after it where the Undertaker like takes off his coat and his hat and his gloves and like says goodbye to this legendary gimmick. But the match was so bad that the Undertaker unretired because he was like, "That can't be my last match. I refuse to let that be my last match." And also, as you might expect, it doesn't help the fans come to like Roman Reigns anymore at all.
If you glance at the picture on the left, Seth kind of looks like he's wearing some spicy lingerie. Because you got like the breast cups, but then it's just straps in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Oh dear.
I mean, the other dude, the dude on the right there, he looks like he's aged like 20 years since we last saw him.
Yeah.
It's true.
What's up with that? He looks like he's...
From this point, Triple H does start to age quite quickly.
He looks like... You know in The Simpsons, how they're like, why is that one Muppet made out of leather?
That's good. Oh, and of course, where's Dean Ambrose in all this? Because he was just world champion not a while ago. He lost the world title shortly through 2016 after the brand split. He loses it to AJ Styles. WrestleMania comes around. He's just not on the show. He's not injured or anything. He's just not on the show.
He was the only good one.
He is well, so he is on the pre-show for this show, which is the couple of matches that are just broadcast free on YouTube. He does win the Intercontinental Championship, which is one of the other secondary singles titles. However, at this point in time, it's not a particularly prestigious title. So there you go. We carry on through 2017, and it comes around because now Seth Rollins is a good guy again, which means that by default, it's one of these things, often in WWE, it's less so these days, but especially in this era, bad guys were friends and good guys were friends, regardless of what history had happened between them. So Seth and Dean reunite. I was wrong, by the way. We do have shots of the worst-looking tag titles. Yes, they are now red straps. Because, again, they've split into the brands. So we've got one with red straps for Raw and another with blue straps for SmackDown, and they both look crap.
I preferred the last one.
Yeah, the other ones did look better.
I mean, the last one wasn't great, but it was a hell of a lot better than that.
Meanwhile...
It also makes it seem kind of rigged because, like, this dude on the right, his pants just look like it was made for that belt.
True.
True. Well, if you think it's rigged, Ollie, I have some news for you about this whole wrestling lark.
Go on.
Well, you see, they might not actually be competing as fiercely as it looks.
What?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, like, if you're making an entertainment brand, like, don't make it so obvious that it's all...
Well, look, the other guy's in a black tank top and jeans, so surely it evens out. That doesn't seem like he should be wearing a title at all.
Are you telling me all those bets I placed on against John Cena have been for nothing?
Why were you betting against John Cena, my man?
I thought his number was going to go eventually. Like,
speaking of, you should bet against John Cena. Go on, Ali. No, it's all right. I'll carry on.
Just do you reckon they like look, because like there are betting markets for this, despite the fact that it's all scripted, right? Like, do you reckon they look at that and be like, let's change it just to like make a bunch of people lose shit tons of money? Sometimes.
The bookies do have their insiders to try and get the scoop on it. And there definitely have been times, especially when Vince McMahon was still in charge, because he is still at this point in time in our story, where he does change the result just because it leaked or because the bookies found out or someone online found out, and he changes it just to spite the fans. It's an odd little industry. Yeah, you should never bet on wrestling.
Well, it's like betting like who'll die in the next episode of like fucking I don't know, whatever, right? It's like
One Piece.
It's just One Piece, right? It's like, oh yeah, let's have a betting market for like what the species of person who joins the One Piece crew next is. Like that seems just ripe for abuse.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I'm not. That's to say, don't bet on wrestling. It's as simple as that.
There's got to be rich people who influence outcomes. There has to be rich people who are like, well, I put $20 million down on Triple H, and now I can just give $5 million to Vince McMahon, and then I get all of my money back and a shit ton more. Like,
even more so now because Triple H is the one booking the show.
well, yeah.
But yes, now shortly after SummerSlam, we finally have the Roman Reigns John Cena feud. The passing of the torch can occur. What actually happens is John Cena, for the few weeks leading up to this match, just absolutely eviscerates Roman Reigns on the microphone, exposes all of his weaknesses as a top guy, says what all of the fans have been thinking for the year, but then Roman just beats him anyway. And it's like, okay, what did anyone gain from that? But the pieces are coming into place, right? Dean and Seth are now tag team champions. They're paired up. Roman's still a good guy. He's around. Guys, it's time. It's time to reunite. Go on. It's time to reunite the Shield. Carry on.
I like that John Cena's like wearing jeggings in this shot.
They're jorts.
Oh,
John Cena wears jorts when he wrestles.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's clearly not just like, full weight denim. So
yes,
good for him.
This is also John Cena pre-hair transplant, so you can see that he is very much balding on the back of his head there.
He's a Digimon. He is, yeah. Digimon wear jorts all the time.
It's true, they do, yeah.
Very good. But yes, it's time, finally, after about almost 4 years after they've broken up, it's time for the Shield reunion. The match is set for October, except Roman Reigns gets the mumps, and he can't make the show. So this happens, and they just throw Kurt Angle in there for no reason.
Who the fuck gets the mumps in 2016 or whatever the fuck? The mumps!
He gets the mumps! I don't know what
like 11-year-olds get it. It's cool, right?
It's like for that shit since like the 80s? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
The mumps! Fucking hell, America, bro.
Yeah, so this is the state of things. Rather than Roman Reigns, it's just fucking old-ass Kurt Angle coming back for his first match after his retirement in like 2006 to fight alongside the Shield, and it's kind of brilliant in a way that's hilarious and bad. But actually in this match, the Shield win, but Dean Ambrose gets injured, so he's out for a little while. So he actually has a reason to not be on the next WrestleMania card, as opposed to just being left off it. Speaking of, we are going to fast forward through to WrestleMania. Neither Seth nor Roman win the Royal Rumble, but through other means, we're back to Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
But who has the chest, the case at this point?
Where are we? 2017. The briefcase has already been used by this point, but it's on SmackDown. It's on the other world title brand, so it doesn't come into this.
I was hoping it was Gold Dust, but I guess
no. This, in fact, 2017 is actually one of the few years where the person who wins the briefcase ends up losing their title shot, so it matters even less.
Imagine paying for that. You'd be pissed, right? Like if you paid for that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we get to Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns as the main event of WrestleMania 34. You know how with WrestleMania 32, Triple H versus Roman, I was like, the fans didn't care. They didn't want either guy to win. They booed the whole match. This happens again. There are a chance for refunds. There are a chance for beat the traffic. People are playing with beach balls in the crowd because they don't give a shit about the match. But at this point, it's been so many years that people are like, fine, just have Roman Reigns get the big win. He can become Universal Champion. And we could just be done with it. We can just get it over with. Make him your top star, whatever. Brock Lesnar wins and Roman Reigns loses. Which means we have to do this for another 6 months through to SummerSlam. Because that's where we're going. Seth Rollins, meanwhile, wrestles in the opening match. He wins the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh shit, a white belt? That looks sick.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, they're about to get rid of this design. But now we're in an era where basically all of the men's belts have black straps and the women's belts use the same designs, but they have white straps. And as a result, all of the women's belts look a lot better. Oh, yes, bisexual lighting, yes. They're in New Orleans, so they use like the Mardi Gras kind of aesthetic for the show as a whole. Yeah, Seth Rollins wins the Intercontinental Championship. We're not going to check in with him much throughout this year, but basically his reign is what restores a lot of the prestige to the Intercontinental Championship, because he just goes out there every month and just has really good matches defending the belt. Sometimes wrestling can be simple when Vince McMahon doesn't overcomplicate it. But since Brock retained, we've got more of this boring shit. We're on our way to SummerSlam. It finally happens. Roman Reigns finally just wins, becomes world champion, and we can just move on.
Oh, he's added a little man to his logo. Hold on, go back.
He's got
a little man in his logo now.
Himself doing the Superman punch thing. Yep. Then something weird happens. A couple weeks later, Roman Reigns comes out on Raw, and he uses his real name. He addresses the crowd as Joanna Hawaii, and he announces that he has leukemia. He's been dealing with leukemia for his whole life, and it has come back. So he now, after all this time, finally winning it, has to vacate the Universal Championship to go deal with his leukemia. It's a very sad moment. The other Shield guys come out, hug him. It's all standing crying. In the main event that night, Seth and Dean, who had since lost their tag titles, they regain the tag team titles in Roman's honor. And then Dean Ambrose turned heel by attacking Seth Rollins.
But they just brought it up because of leukemia.
They did, Dave. Go on, Ollie, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, it would have been an incredible bit if, like, somebody just, like, hit him with a chair while he was announcing the leukemia thing. Because, like, I mean, it would have been funny, right? Like, yeah, I mean, this is pretty good.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose turns on Seth Rollins, and it had the potential to be a really good, emotionally charged story of, like, Dean's just being in this horrible mindset because his friend's just gone out with this horrible thing, and he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's dealing with so much trauma, and he's, like, blaming Seth for it, even though it's not his fault. They don't do that. They make Dean a germaphobe, basically, and they have this truly terrible segment where Dean Ambrose cuts a promo basically mocking his friend for getting leukemia while a doctor injects him in the butt.
Okay.
I'm just going to let that one hang in there.
I guess.
You ever gotten injected in the butt?
That's not how injections work. You don't get injected. What vaccine makes you get injected in the butt?
I mean, if you... there are some... basically, it's like rabies. And then that's it.
All right, really?
Mumps?
Okay,
but maybe mumps.
maybe, man. Yeah, it's crap and uncomfortable, but it builds towards the end of the year. Seth and Dean fight over Seth Rollins' Intercontinental Championship. Dean wins it. The match is up. Unfortunately, the one silver lining from this was like, okay, but it's Seth and Dean, so it'll at least be a good match. But no, it was really boring.
Why are there so many shots of them holding women's belts?
No, this is still the Intercontinental. At this point in time, the Intercontinental Championship still has the white design.
The white belt. Okay.
They don't change it until I think 2020. So, but then
it looks like a small belt. Like, honestly,
yeah, it's not particularly big. I do have this one, but it's not in the room at the moment. So,
okay, fair.
It's one of the nicer belt designs that WWE have ever done, to be honest. We get over, but Seth Rollins, he's just lost the Intercontinental Championship, but it's fine. Because he wins the Royal Rumble. So he's now going on to WrestleMania. Because, of course, he has. Brock Lesnar is Universal Champion again. Because around this time, if anything happens, Brock Lesnar is just kind of the default setting for the Universal Championship at this point. Much like John Cena was about a decade earlier. So Seth Rollins going on to fight Brock Lesnar. But we actually are going to have to wait a little while to get to WrestleMania because a bunch of shit happens in between the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, which it doesn't normally. First of all, Roman Reigns come back. His leukemia goes into remission. He announces his triumphant return. But more interestingly than that, if you remember, Dean Ambrose was being made to mock his friend with leukemia while being injected in the butt. Funnily enough, he decides to leave WWE. WWE announced ahead of time that in April, he will not be renewing his contract. He's leaving the company, which means one last time, since we can't convince him to stay, let's basically just celebrating the fact that he's back. He has a match. It's fine. He beats a guy. He wins. The thing is, it's so weird that it came to this, but Roman Reigns coming out and announcing he had leukemia was what the fans needed for the red mist to clear in regards to him. And they stopped seeing him as like this relentlessly boo him, everyone hates him. They're like, oh, hang on. I mean, they still don't love him, but they're like, okay, they chill out. The fans chill out on Roman Reigns at this point. Trust me, he's about to age a lot more when we see him later, because that hairline keeps receding, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, it was receding the very first picture that you showed us. He was
Yep.
Yeah.
That hairline keeps receding. Seth Rollins, meanwhile, beats Brock Lesnar, becomes Universal Champion. We will get to the details of his reign shortly, but now we have to talk about AEW.
Oh my god.
Because we are now in 2019, which means AEW officially exists, which it didn't up until this point. I'm not going to go into the full details because explaining it all would add like an hour to this explanation. But the short version is a bunch of guys, some of them former WWE guys, some are guys who've just come up on their own. They get together with the billionaire son of a billionaire, Tony Khan, and fund AEW, which basically it's the first time since like 2001 that WWE have had any real competition. So it's a big deal. And one of their first major acquisitions from WWE is Dean Ambrose, who left the company in April. He arrives now under the non-WWE trademarked name of Jon Moxley. And he pretty much immediately gets treated as a top star there and starts doing way better. He gets to wrestle the kind of style he actually likes to wrestle, which is a much more hardcore deathmatch style wrestling. Jon Moxley loves to bleed, is the simple fact of it. His matches get very bloody very quickly. He doesn't do anything major in AEW just yet, but we will soon. But now you know, Jon Moxley's in AEW. Seth Rollins, meanwhile, he got this groundswell over 2018 of just being a really good wrestler that won the fan support just by doing good wrestling, right? So when he wins the world title in 2019, you think, just do more of that, and everyone will love it. How many legs has he got? Oh, I forgot. Yes, Kenny Omega is laying under him in this because he's just slammed him on top of that pile of poker chips that he's sitting on, which is set dressing. I didn't realize Kenny Omega's laid out corpse was in that photo.
I love how he looks even worse in the big screen at the back.
Yeah.
Like, he really looks like he's suffering back there.
But so yeah, Seth Rollins come back. If just do more of the same thing, people will continue to love him, right? No, they make him really, really lame. 2019 is very much the downfall of Seth Rollins in terms of how much people like him. They pair him with his real life wife on screen, who is also the women's champion at this point in time. And they just don't seem to have any on-screen chemistry at all. And they're really boring to watch. He has a bunch of really lame feuds. He loses the title back to Brock, but then wins it back from Brock at SummerSlam for no reason. And that now we're getting into one of the...
They have sick outfits, just FYI.
They
Both
do.
of those outfits are very
Seth
cool.
Rollins' outfit game only gets better from here.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure about it. I don't know.
Well, I quite like them. But anyway, we now have to... It is a bit Tron.
It is a bit Tron. Maybe that's why I like it. I'm a big fan of Tron.
Interesting. Anyway, we now have to talk about The Fiend.
Okay.
So this is... You mentioned earlier, I mentioned the Wyatt family, right?
This is Buggy the Clown.
Kind of.
He's coming back.
The Clown. So the head of that was a guy called Bray Wyatt, who he had like this big cult leader gimmick. He was an incredible talker, but WWE never really got behind him in a big way. He sort of goes away for a while after just gradually being diminished and becoming more and more lame. But then he comes back with this really interesting gimmick, which is this dual-sided gimmick where on regular shows he'll appear as Bray Wyatt in what they call the Firefly Funhouse, which is like this fake kids TV show. He's like a over-enthusiastic kids TV show host. But it has all these dark undertones to it and these slight fucked up things. It's just really fun. And then when he comes out for a match, he becomes the Fiend, who is basically just a horror movie villain. You know, only he can't actually slash people. He just beats them down really brutally. And the first couple of times we see the Fiend, it's really good. It's because, frankly, it's just something unique, which we haven't seen in WWE for a long time. And it's just a really cool thing. So WWE ruin it. They put him against Seth Rollins for the World Championship. One, why would a horror movie villain care about a wrestling World Championship?
Good question.
Two, they bathe the whole match in this dark red light that makes it nigh on unwatchable. And three...
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't look watchable to me.
And three, this is one of the worst WWE matches of all time, with no sense of hyperbole. So this is in Hell in a Cell, and I've referenced it before, but it's this big cage structure, and WWE WWE brand it as like their most brutal match. It's like when their feuds get so hot that they lock them both in a cage and it doesn't end until one of them leaves or one of them's dead. The hell is in the cell, stuff like those, like the iconic stuff like The Undertaker throwing Mankind off Hell in the Cell. That's from Hell in a Cell. This match ends because they wrestle too much. Seth Rollins piles a bunch of stuff on the Fiend, as you can see here. Hits something on top of the pile with a sledgehammer, which, as you can see from this stack, would not hurt at all if you're at the bottom of it. And the ref goes, "No, this is too much," and he calls for the bell, and the match just ends.
Okay.
But again, funny upside of this, at this point, WWE would start doing their own reaction live streams alongside their shows, where they get like some of their commentators in, some of the former wrestlers and stuff come in and watch the match. Yeah. And one of them absolutely hates this and goes on a tirade about how crap it is on WWE's official live stream, which was very funny.
Very good.
But this basically puts the nail in the coffin as far as fans liking Seth Rollins goes. He's a dead concept by this. The Fiend, they have a rematch the next month in a slightly different circumstance in which the Fiend does win the world title. And then Seth Rollins turns heel, basically because everyone hates him. And he becomes, the villain from Far Cry 5?
Yeah.
He does that. He starts calling himself the Monday Night Messiah, and because he's on Raw, which is broadcast on a Monday night.
Okay.
And he starts giving these speeches. He gets a couple heavies and starts giving sermons. And it's a decent character, but he doesn't do anything particularly interesting with it. Which takes us into the start of 2020. Jon Moxley wins the AEW World Championship from Chris Jericho. He is going to hold this title for most of the year. He basically sees AEW through the pandemic as this just really solid top guy world champion. He's finally, his potential has been let loose. He's allowed to do what he wants, that kind of thing. Meanwhile, in WWE, initially the plan is Roman Reigns is going to face Goldberg for the Universal Champion. The Universal Championship is blue now, by the way.
Not a great. Don't love it.
I think it's better than the red, but it's still not good.
It's much better than the red. It still looks like a rejected Marvel movie prop, but I mean, it's better.
Yeah.
Sure.
So this is going to be the match. Roman Reigns just getting a big win over Goldberg, who's like a long-time legend sort of thing. But then the pandemic happens, and because Roman Reigns has only recently recovered from leukemia, he is high risk. So he has to go away. He can't even do it. WWE run WrestleMania like this in their own training facility to no crowd. And it's fine. Seth Rollins has a match. It's good, but it's one of those things, because it is completely dead. It's one of those shows. It was fine at the time, but it is completely unwatchable now because of the circumstances. And that basically continues for Seth Rollins through the start of, or through mid 2020. He has a couple matches. They're good, but nothing particularly important. Until we get to the start of summer, he starts a feud with Rey Mysterio, which starts getting a bit brutal. And Dave, Ollie, tell me, you've seen a couple of the different kind of match types that WWE has.
Yeah.
If you've got a brutal feud and you want to pay it off in a unique way that has a bit of edge to it, what kind of match would you think would be a good fit?
The Hell in the Cell?
The Hell in a Cell, that's a decent option,
Ollie?
I mean, I feel like if you just want to go the brutal thing, the street fight thing, right?
Street fight? Yeah. Both good options. WWE go for an eye for an eye match. The stipulation of which is you win by extracting your opponent's eye. Which straight away is a promise they cannot deliver on.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
But this is the pandemic. They're trying shit. During the pandemic, WWE and AEW try a bunch of what they call cinematic matches, where they basically turn matches into short films, like just full editing, multi-camera shots, that kind of thing. And we thought,
I guess if they don't have a live audience, they can kind of just do that shit, right?
If they do that, they give it a bit of smoke and mirrors. If they give it a bit of smoke and mirrors, you think, okay, it's fine. They don't do that. They put it in the ring and they treat it like it's a regular match. Seth Rollins, at the end of the match, you've got like the metal ring steps that the wrestlers use to get into the ring. Seth Rollins pushes Rey Mysterio's eye into the corner of the steps, which incidentally would not extract the eye, it would push it in. And then Rey Mysterio falls down, and if you can see there, he's got a ping pong ball that's covered in red.
Yeah, I see.
And he's holding that to its eye like it, and they really, really sell it. Like Seth Rollins fake vomits and stuff like that because it's so horrible, and it's just a ping pong ball. It's so bad.
Okay, all right.
Oh my God.
So
they have like access to CG. They make trillions of dollars. They could do literally anything.
No, Ollie, you're thinking too deep. My question is, did they at least give him an eye patch for a while?
They did. So Rey Mysterio, he wears that mask. He for like a year after this, he has one of the eyes covered on the mask.
Mm-hmm.
So they sell it, but fucking hell.
Even just like a silicon eye, you know, like this, make one out of jelly. Like you could do so many things to make that even halfway believable.
Yeah.
And it's just the most obvious ping pong ball that they've colored in with a Sharpie I've ever seen in my life.
It's truly horrible. Truly horrible. But anyway, that distraction aside, we move on to SummerSlam, which is where our next main beat happens. This is the end of August. Roman Reigns comes back. The Fiend, this is the last we'll see of The Fiend, I think, in this story. He's still The Fiend is still world champion by this point, or he's lost it and then got it back. But Roman Reigns comes back at the end of SummerSlam, and as his shirt said, he wrecks everyone and leaves. And then it's revealed a couple weeks later that he is aligned with Paul Heyman, who is basically the prototype heel manager in the company. His main remit up until this has been as Brock Lesnar's manager. So it was a shock to see Roman Reigns aligned with him, which means they're finally doing what all of the fans told them to do for those years and years where they were trying to push Roman Reigns. They've made him a bad guy. They've made him a strong, silent bad guy. He adopts the moniker of the tribal chief. He dips into his Samoan heritage. That becomes bigger later, but we'll get into it. He almost immediately wins the Universal Championship back, like literally the next week. The ring is destroyed there because they did a spot where the ring fell apart for no particular reason. But Roman Reigns wins the World Championship. He's a heel. And they now... Fans. Oh my God, the Thunderdome. Don't get me wrong. They have all these screens where fans on their webcam and you're told how to react as they pipe in the crowd noise. Honestly, it's fucking nightmare stuff. I'm just so saying, like,
there's so much potential to just ruin that show if you're one of those people in the background.
Oh, they have people strictly monitoring it. That you'd get told how to react, and if you did anything or you held up a sign, you'd get cut off immediately. Like it was.
I mean,
mad.
You would have to, right? Like, cause
they have people moderating that super heavily. But WWE finally start to learn how to leverage this empty arena style because they start leveraging the fact that you can actually hear the wrestlers talking to each other in the ring while the match is going on. And they make some fun soap opera stuff. So this is the Usos are back. This is Roman Reigns, now world champion, establishing his dominance basically over his leg is giving me the ick. Oh, I see.
It does look a bit funky,
yeah. The Usos try to stand up to their older cousin and be like, what are you doing? This isn't you and all this. And they create these fun, like, they lean all the way into the melodrama, basically, of, like, this family drama. He makes Jay submit. Jimmy's currently injured, but when he comes back, he gets Jimmy to bend the knee as well. And this begins the start of the Bloodline saga, which is what many people consider to be one of WWE's greatest stories of all time. At least up until 2024. After 2024, it carries on and kind of peters out and gets really boring.
How does this relate to the Vampire Masquerade RPG?
Funnily enough, it doesn't have anything to do with that. It's in reference to the Samoan bloodline of Roman Reigns, because they have that family just has a long history where basically all of the men in that family are wrestlers, and loads of them are in WWE today. You know, Roman Reigns is the biggest one. You've got the Usos as well. A few more that we will eventually bring into.
Graphic design is my passion.
The bloodline would eventually get some good designs, but this is just the general logo for them at first. But we're putting a pause in that.
Before we get too deep into that,
okay,
can we get a check-in on Goldust?
So by this point, Goldust is in AEW. Not as Goldust, because that is unfortunately a WWE trademark. He is in AEW as Dustin Rhodes. And he has at AEW's first pay-per-view, he has a very, very good match with his younger brother, Cody Rhodes, who again will come into this later. And then that's kind of it. He just kind of sticks around as like a reliable hand, but they never elevate him to a top guy, you know. Especially as he's quite old by this point. He's like over 50. So you know.
Will they let him retire?
He still hasn't. To this day, he still hasn't retired. I
genuinely remember watching a WrestleMania show when I was a kid, and there was a big Goldust promo in the middle of it. And I don't know why, but I remember it being on reruns for like a full week, and I just remember the Goldust promo. And I must have been like 9 or 10 or some shit. So it's
does he ever get to beat Goldust again?
What?
Not yet. No, he's still in AEW today. He hasn't come back to WWE yet. He might do, but I don't know. He's currently out injured anyway. So
they should make someone Goldust too. I think
that's what they do.
Go back to like the full drag thing.
That's what Stardust is. We'll explain that shortly.
Well, there we go. So there's precedent.
Yep. Diamond Dust is next, surely.
That's good. All right, are we good to carry on?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So before we go into the details of the bloodline and what's going on with Roman and Seth, we first jump back to AEW, because Jon Moxley, now we've got into the end of 2020, has lost the AEW World Championship to Kenny Omega. They have their big final blow-off match in an exploding barbed wire death match. This is actually an old stipulation. It happened in Japan a few times. I think ECW did it once or twice as well. And it's one of those kind of smoke and mirrors matches where they have them basically they replace the ropes with barbed wire, the ring ropes for one. They have barbed wire everywhere, and they basically put tiny little, pyrotechnics into like boards and stuff. So when they get slammed on them, they explode. And the idea is there's like a 30-minute countdown. If it hits 0, the ring explodes. And usually they just give it a bit of pyrotechnics. So it's like the ring kind of just disappears in a puff of smoke, and you think, okay, if they do something like that, it might look decent. This is the one time I have to show you a clip, because you have to see how underwhelming this explosion is.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So he comes in, Jon Moxley's in the ring, Eddie Kingston's there, he's shielding him, he's like, you've got to get up. The countdown, he's shielding him from the explosion.
Yeah, he is. Oh.
And that's it.
Okay.
And look he's really selling it like he's been knocked out by this explosion.
All right, cool.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is truly terrible. Oh, I've skipped ahead.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my god, so far too.
Forward.
I pressed the button and it skipped right to the final slide.
No.
Anyway.
Spoilers.
So yeah, that's the explosion. It's just crap. I don't know what else to say other than it's so bad. They try to save face afterwards the next night, where basically the heels who set it up go, "Aha, we tricked you. We made you look like fools because you thought there was going to be a big explosion, but we made it look weak." But it doesn't align with the fact that the commentators were selling it like Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley had just died in the ring.
Yeah. There is viscera everywhere.
It's so bad. Definitely one of AEW's weakest moments.
And sorry, anyway, at this point, was there a live crowd there? Like, could they still have just faked it?
So AEW did it slightly differently. They didn't go full no crowd. They had some wrestlers around the ring, and then as we got into 2021, because this is I think March 2021 that happens. They have like limited fans in a small arena. So it's like there were some fans in the ring, but it was still a lot of piped in noise and stuff.
So they still could have just faked it, right? Like,
yeah,
put effect on the screen, did a big.
I mean, they could have just they could have just spent a bit more money on some pyrotechnics.
Yeah, I mean, like the pyrotechnics that they used. Like, I know people who work in pyrotechnics. The pyrotechnics that they used there are not more expensive than the pyrotechnics that would actually just do the job.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like it's a money concern. Oh god.
Anyway, back in WWE, Roman Reigns is Universal Champion. He just keeps winning a lot. You've got the WrestleMania 37 main event there. Daniel Bryan, Edge faces Kevin Owens, got Cesaro. He has another match against John Cena, SummerSlam 2021. He just wins a lot. This run for Roman Reigns will last almost 4 years. He's world champion, which is unprecedented since like Hulk Hogan in the early 90s. You know, it's since that long, since they've had a world title, a world championship reign last that long. So it's a lot of just Roman Reigns winning and, you know, becoming grander as the tribal chief, often with the help of the Usos and the Bloodline and this sort of thing.
The SummerSlam
Who's Daniel Bryan?
What was that, Ollie?
Daniel Bryan? He was the guy we talked about earlier. The beard one that looked like dust. He's cut his hair now, but
no, he looks like a regular guy.
Yeah, just normal.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah. Which was very much his appeal, to be fair. But he is a very good wrestler. This was actually his last. Well, it was his last pay-per-view match. He would leave WWE for AEW a couple months later.
I love the same image of Heyman just lurking in the background. Oh, to be fair, no, one of them has a different shirt. But is it the same tie?
I think it might be the same image, just the color balancing.
They've changed the shirt.
It's just the color balancing, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
Seth Rollins, meanwhile, he's going along. He's doing good, but it's not anything important. He's having a feud with Edge, Crown Jewel, which is the name of their Saudi Arabia show. So,
okay.
You know, it's fine, but he's just still going along doing standard things. The next important beat comes at the start of 2022. Yes, completely the same image. Comes at the start of 2022 when Roman Reigns and Seth, who's now called Seth freaking Rollins,
with
the one.
Or is
that is a one.
The terrible font. No, it is.
That is just fun.
Yeah,
if you look at it down there,
the font that they used. Yeah, it just has ones.
Awful.
So this is the first major beat where Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins first come back together and have a confrontation. Weirdly, both of them are still heels by this point, but the story itself is interesting enough. Seth comes out in the old Shield gear to like throw Roman off into the old Shield music, and Seth technically beats Roman because Roman has him in the chokehold like this. Seth holds the ropes. The rule is if your opponent gets to the ropes where you've got a hold in, you're supposed to break the hold. Roman doesn't, so he gets disqualified. So Seth wins the match, but the rules in WWE are that a title can't change hands by disqualification. So Roman remains the champion. It doesn't really follow up into much immediately, but it keeps the running theme going that Seth is like the one guy that Roman just can't beat because Seth keeps getting in his head.
That's a really convenient rule. Just saying, like that. If they, it can't pass over if it was by disqualification.
It's very much. If this was a real sport, that wouldn't be a rule, but it's a very handy plot device to have in your back pocket.
Yeah, you know? I mean, it just allows you to like actually do stuff without having to commit to it in any significant degree.
Yeah. So this is at the Royal Rumble in January, which means WrestleMania is on the way. Who do you think will be Roman Reigns' WrestleMania opponent?
I mean, it's not Goldust, so...
It's not Goldust. Come on, there's got to be one name floating to the top. Already faced him a couple times.
It's good by Brock Lesnar.
It's Brock Lesnar again.
Yeah.
Only this time, the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, because Brock Lesnar has the other world championship. They're going to unify the two world championships.
And it's streaming on Poob again. It's literally on Poob. It's free on Poob.
But yes, so they have this match. They unify the two titles. Roman Reigns finally just beats Brock Lesnar, for fuck's sake. He wins both titles. He now goes, they start calling him in God mode.
He gets the little Meganium
Yeah.
flower necklace.
Oh, yes, he gets the Ulafala, which is their sign of
He needs
the
a few
tribal
more.
chief and all of that.
He doesn't need a
Unfortunately,
few
he doesn't
more.
get more. He only ever has the one, but he does get more. But what's Seth Rollins doing at WrestleMania? Seth Rollins doesn't have an opponent at WrestleMania. They do a storyline where he just doesn't have an opponent because it works out that way. So he's facing a mystery opponent. And this is where we have to stop to finally talk about Cody Rhodes, who is his Seth Rollins' secret opponent for this match. So Cody Rhodes debuts in WWE around 2008, 2009.
This is the dude who's the brother of Goldust.
Yes, so he is the son of legendary wrestler Dusty Rhodes. He is the brother of Goldust. That sort of thing. He goes through, he comes
I
up in
get the
WWE.
Dust thing now because Dust. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I got it. It's all coming together.
Yeah. You get it. So he does a few things. He comes up. He's like a decent star, but he never like properly breaks through into the main event scene. And then in 2014, he becomes Stardust to team up with his brother Goldust. And he becomes, this basically just weirdo kind of guy. He's very American looking.
Go back
that's
one
true.
pick.
You
No, too far.
When he has blonde hair.
No. You see this one? No. This one.
Oh, sorry.
This is an
this
extra
one
from one of the Twilight movies. This is.
Sorry, he's
like
he's about to look more American because
that like is in the story, but not really
not
important.
In the
story. yeah, exactly. He's about to look much more American because he's going to get bleach blonde hair at some point. He becomes Stardust. He just kind of fucks about as this weird like alien entity, and it's super lame. It has a very obvious ceiling and he hates it. So he leaves WWE in 2016. He starts going over to Japan, all the indies. He starts making a name for himself. He becomes Dusty Rhodes was always known as the American Dream because he was like this everyday guy who got to the top. Cody Rhodes then turns that, becomes the American Nightmare, that kind of thing.
This here does look like a Yakuza character. Like this is like a side story in Yakuza.
This is literally a Majima pose.
Yeah.
So Cody ends up becoming kind of the face of. Oh, that's the other thing. He can't call himself Cody Rhodes because Rhodes is a WWE trademark name by this point, so he just goes by Cody. But he becomes kind of the face of like the growing indie anti-WWE movement. And then what happens in 2017? Dave Meltzer, who's a prominent wrestling journalist, gets asked a random question on Twitter, do you think any non-WWE show basically could run a 10,000 seat arena? And he says, not anytime soon. Cody Rhodes replies to it, goes, I'll take that bet. And then he spends about the next year searching funding, securing bets to make All In, the biggest independent wrestling show of all time in mid-2018, that he's literally the poster boy for this anti-WWE movement, this celebration of everything non-WWE wrestling. This gets in, as I say, billionaire, son of a billionaire, and perpetual awkward teen Tony Khan to fund AEW, of which Cody is
Tony Khan?
He is the son of, I can't remember his father's name, but his father owns an NFL team. Owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, I think it is.
I see. Okay. All right.
So Cody is like the founding member of AEW. He is the most anti-WWE guy there is. His theme music starts. Looks like you've seen a little clip.
Yeah, boy.
Very good. It's like his theme music even starts with the rebellious phaser. It's wrestling has more than one royal family. This idea that the McMahons don't control everything. The Rhodes are just as big, because at some point, I think 2021, WWE dropped the trademark and he gets his last name back. He likes on one of the first big shows, he does like a big entrance where he like smashes a throne with all of Triple H's logos on it and stuff. It's like he can't get more anti-WWE than that, which is why it was such a shocking moment that come WrestleMania 38, he left AEW and returned to WWE. So that's where he is. He comes back. Him and Seth Rollins have a big old feud. Another Hell in a Cell match. This one is actually good. Thankfully, we finally get a good one from Seth and from Hell in a Cell. Because
that's a fake tattoo, right? That neck tattoo.
Nope, that's a real neck tattoo with his shitty logo on it.
Wow, that is a choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just imagine having to have that for the rest of your life.
That's anything American themed would devastate me. Yeah,
it's just But this match almost didn't happen because the week of in the gym while lifting, Cody completely tears his pectoral muscle off the bone. Like not. However, the doctors look at it. He's very patriotic. Yeah, his gear is like Homelander inspired and all that. He goes full into it. This is the only what I'm wearing now is the only Cody shirt that I could buy because it has a big picture of a dog on it. Because everything else is just emblazoned with the American flag. You know. But yeah, he tears his pectoral muscle completely off the bone, but he goes through with the match anyway. And you can see it's pretty fucked. Because the doctors basically determine, like, well, it's a complete tear. You can't make it any worse by wrestling. If you can deal with the pain, then I guess go for it. And it created like, yeah, exactly. And it created this really visceral match where it's like, that is just on his arm and is real. And it created something very unique, but made a very good story. Yeah, I'll take that off the screen now. You can look at Triple H's old face instead. But it means that after this, Cody does go out injured. Which takes us through to the middle of 2022, when the most significant, not plot point, but the most significant thing happens, which is that Vince McMahon goes away because he gets sued for sexual harassment and all of that shit comes out. Which basically means he steps down as the man in charge of the company, and Triple H takes over as the man running the show and basically the head writer of the company is the best way to put it.
Doesn't old Vince come back, though? Isn't that a thing that happened?
He comes back very briefly, but then disappears again, basically. And he hasn't come back yet, but to be honest, he probably will. Unless he dies first. Fingers crossed. But everyone rejoices because Vince McMahon has long been a crap booker, like especially like 2019 through 2021 are truly terrible years creatively for WWE. In so many ways, the weekly shows are completely unwatchable. But Triple H has been running NXT, which is like WWE sub-brand where they have all the developmental stars, and he's been doing an amazing job for years. Like NXT is one of the best wrestling shows 4 years, essentially. And now Triple H is taking over full time, which means that a lot of these storylines that Vince had in place that were kind of just going to be throwaway jokes and stuff, Triple H actually turns and makes them interesting. But first, we got to have Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar again.
Oh, yeah, of course. You gotta.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. This time, it's a last man standing match. Although, this one it's not brilliant, but it is quite fun because Brock shows up in a digger. He rides it down to the ring, stands on top of it, and then he lifts the ring up with the digger, which was very fun.
That's kind of sick.
That is pretty sick. He loses, Roman Reigns retains. But after this is when the Bloodline storyline really gets going because Sami Zayn gets involved. Now, Sami Zayn was another indie darling Daniel Bryan type star. He came up to the main roster WWE in 2016, but was never really treated like a big deal. He returns halfway through the pandemic because he also decided to go away for health reasons. And becomes like this comedy conspiracy theory character. And it works, but then he like latches onto Roman Reigns. And like he keeps trying to join the Bloodline in this fun idea of like they're all these like big Samoan heritage kind of guy. They're big on their blood. And there's this fucking white dork coming in and being like, yeah, I'm one of you. I'm one of the Bloodline. And it was clearly Vince just introduced it as a joke until he got bored. But Triple H goes, okay, let's make this something. Because Sami Zayn's a really good wrestler, he's really charismatic. He gets it over. You know, he puts in the whole... And it suddenly becomes a serious storyline where it's basically just this puppy dog dancing around Roman Reigns. And Roman just keeps him around because he's kind of entertained by it. But also there's like this undercurrent of like Roman Reigns is this egomaniacal guy who could snap on Sami at any moment. And there you go, stuff like this, where it's just like, he's clearly not one of them, but he also fully believes he's one of them.
Paul Heyman ain't one of them either.
Oh, well, Roman Reigns brings Paul Heyman in. He calls Paul Heyman the wise man, and he like looks to him for counsel and stuff like this. I think they should
just have a cardboard cutout of Paul Heyman in the pose that was on the posters and just carry that around.
Also, on the far left here is Solo Sikoa. He shows up halfway through 2022. He is basically another Uso. He's their younger brother. So he's another one just in the family that becomes like an enforcer for Roman Reigns. So they become full thing. And the story is, through the back half of 2022, Sami slowly winning over everyone in the bloodline onto his side. You know, for ages.
Why is he the only one without shoes? Just asking.
Great question. I don't know.
Everyone else has shoes, right? It's like a uniform kind of thing. And then
it's quite difficult. Yeah. It's quite difficult not to wear shoes while wrestling a match, to be honest, because you need to.
Yeah.
Sami stole his shoes.
But it slowly works. It culminates at Survivor Series, which has now adopted the War Games match, which is basically a big 2 rings, 5 versus 5 in a cage, total chaos match, where Sami Zayn basically makes his final decision, choosing the bloodline over some of his old friends that he's known for a long time, and basically is fully trusted and accepted into the bloodline. And that's where we are at the end of 2022. I
don't know. The guy on his right doesn't seem to trust him. Is it because he took his shoes?
I guess so. Well, Solo Sikoa's thing was mostly just that he never smiles. So that's all there really is to that.
The rest of them are doing the JoJo Part 4 pose.
The ones, throwing up the ones.
Let the voice of love take you higher.
So yeah, Sami Zayn is now fully integrated into the bloodline. We're going to put a pin in that there and head over to AEW. CM Punk, I'm not going to fully go into this because he's only relevant for this brief moment. He was a guy...
I have heard on good authority that CM Punk is best in the world. And I'm saying that solely because of the sign in the background that says CM Punk best in the world.
Yes, he called himself best in the world. He was like, even before Daniel Bryan was about, he was like the preeminent indie darling. Came into WWE, got himself over just by sheer force of popularity, getting the fans with him. He leaves at the start of 2014 by having a massive blow up. He burns bridges we didn't even know were there, kind of levels of blow up. And he disappears from wrestling for like 7 years. In 2021, he returns to AEW as an alternative. It's like this amazing emotional moment. Fast forward to 2022, he wins the AEW World Championship, but then immediately gets injured, as keeps happening in this, in a really stupid way as well. He makes his first entrance as champion. He's got the belt in. He's coming down the ramp. He does a stage dive into the crowd and just smashes his foot on the barrier. And but he's only going to be out for about 3 or 4 months or so while that heals. So AEW, instead of stripping him of the title, they decide to make an interim world champion, which ends up being Jon Moxley, who bleeds because that's what Jon Moxley does. After a few months, CM Punk comes back, and we all expect Punk's just going to win the title straight back. But actually, Jon Moxley ends up winning it, becomes the unified title. But then the very next week, Punk wins it back. Then Punk has one of the
hard as fuck, by the way.
Got that one, yeah, that is pretty.
Yeah,
good.
That's sick. That's such a good photo.
Yeah. Then CM Punk throws the most legendary hissy fit of all time at the press conference after the show.
Is that the billionaire's son?
Yes, that's Tony Khan sitting next to him, who does absolutely nothing to stop this. He's completely useless in this. CM Punk goes on a massive tirade about some of the other guys in AEW, some of the other founding members of AEW, how he hates them, how he thinks they're unprofessional, just fully puts them on blast live in front of the press and all that, while eating some muffins and drinking some soda. He then goes backstage, has a brawl with them. They all get suspended. CM Punk is then stripped of the AEW World Championship again, so Jon Moxley wins it back. He doesn't hold it for super long. He loses it to MJF just before the end of the year. It doesn't really matter, but that's what Jon Moxley's doing. He keeps winning and then losing the AEW World Championship.
So what was the CM Punk beef?
he's just an angry man, or he was at this point in time.
Yeah,
it was sort of, there were a couple of people that I mean, you know how it is with these like adrenaline fueled muscly men. It's like one little slight turns into a massive blow up.
Do I know?
And they all suddenly hate each other. I sort of like, there's a lot more to it than this, but there's, let's say, CM Punk isn't relevant to the rest of this story, so there you go. Yeah, so Jon Moxley's AEW World Champion. He loses it for a bit, and then he doesn't. I think we actually don't return to him for the rest of this now, because he doesn't win the AEW World Championship back until much later in 2014.
Apparently, I do know.
2024
that,
even.
Yeah.
Very true. So, back to WWE. Sami Zayn's getting too popular and Roman Reigns is a little jealous boy, is the story. He fully accepts Sami into the bloodline, but then Sami just keeps getting cheered over Roman, and Roman's ego can't take it. This is from a segment just before the Royal Rumble 2023 called The Trial of Sami Zayn, which is one of those, it's the perfect blend of wrestling melodrama where Roman Reigns puts Sami Zayn on trial for all the bad things he's done, but then the Usos come back and they're like, no, we stand up for him, we defend him, and Roman Reigns is about to like beat the shit out of him, but then the Usos like physically stop him. They're like, no, give him one more chance, just one more chance, give him one more chance. And that one more chance comes at the Royal Rumble when Roman Reigns faces Kevin Owens, who is Sami Zayn's former best friend, who like they came up through the indies together. They've had on and off rivalries through their time in WWE, but they are like generally best friends because they are also real life best friends. And this is just a big emotional moment where Roman Reigns wins. And after the match, he's like about to completely put the beat down on Kevin Owens. And this is where Sami Zayn finally steps in the way, finally stands up to Roman Reigns, has a massive pop. It's a shame I can't show you the clip because WWE will copyright strike it, but like, it's one of the only times in wrestling I think I've ever heard the crowd microphones peak because of how loud the crowd is cheering in one moment, you know? And he doesn't like that. You'll notice again, someone smashing Roman Reigns in the back with a chair. That's a running theme for Roman Reigns. People betraying him by smashing him in the back with a chair. You'd think that would mean Sami Zayn is now the guy to finally defeat Roman Reigns, but that doesn't quite happen because instead, on the same night, Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble in 2023. He is now going on to WrestleMania, and because there's only one world champion now, he's going on to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So instead, on one of the pay-per-views before WrestleMania, between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, they have their match in Sami Zayn's hometown in Montreal. It's really good, but Sami Zayn doesn't win, which is a shame. Instead, what ends up happening is he reunites with Kevin Owens, and on night one of WrestleMania 39, they fight the Usos for the two really shitty world titles, because the Usos have been tag champs for over a year by this point, and they get their big emotional win in a very good match there. So that's what happens with Sami Zayn. Meanwhile, the main event of WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. It's one of those things, it finally came around that this is like, if Roman Reigns is ever going to lose this fucking title, it's going to be now. Because it's this big story. Cody Rhodes, as I said, left WWE, made himself into a major star, founded the competition, but then came back, went through this injury, did that grueling Hell in a Cell match with that horrible thing, returned, won the Royal Rumble. The story is perfect. And that's why Cody Rhodes' moniker going into this thing is finish the story, become a world champion in WWE, do the thing his father never did, despite being this legendary wrestler, and claim the true crown. So Roman Reigns wins. And I'm quite drunk in a bar somewhere, very upset about it. The finish of the match comes, it's the same as so many of the other finishes to Roman Reigns' match over this 4-year title reign. So Paul Heyman distracts the referee, Solo Sikoa gets in the ring, hits Cody with his finisher, Roman spears him, Roman just wins like that. And then we all have to deal with this for another year. This is one of those cases where with Triple H's booking, a lot of the times it's really good because he invests in this long-term storytelling. The difference is sometimes it's long-term storytelling. Other times it's just a story taking a long time. It doesn't always work.
Yeah.
And since we haven't mentioned him for a while, Seth Rollins is wrestling Logan Paul at WrestleMania 39. He does win, thankfully. But things are about to turn around for Seth Rollins, because the thing is, for almost 2 years now, there has only been one world championship, while WWE's roster is like bigger than ever. And so the case is basically half of the roster just has nothing to fight for. And Roman Reigns especially in this era, is kind of a part-time champion. So there's just, the world title just isn't on TV for most of the year. So WWE introduced a new secondary world title. I mean, it's supposed to be on equal prestige with the other world title, but it very much feels like the consolation prize world title. But Seth Rollins wins that. So he's a world champion again. Good for him. On this same show, though, the bloodline drama continues. The Usos turn on Roman Reigns. They finally have enough of his abuse. Jimmy Uso kicks Roman Reigns in the face while they're fighting Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens for the tag titles. They end up losing that match. He then teams up with Solo Sikoa for Money in the Bank in London to have the Bloodline Civil War. The Usos versus Roman and Solo, with the Bloodline finally breaking up. Who will be the ones? That's a catchphrase that the Usos had. They called themselves the Ones for a while.
I see.
Well, this is the thing. They had 2 world championships. They put them together. They're now one world title. And it's really boring, and they need a second one because there's nothing going on. So yes, they do just make a new world title. And as a result, it is the consolation prize world title. Nowadays, it's sort of evening out, but at the time, it's whatever. But this is significant because by this point, Roman Reigns hasn't been pinned since the end of 2019, and we're in the middle of 2023 here. So for almost 4 years, Roman Reigns hasn't taken a clean loss outside of like that disqualification to Seth Rollins. We talked about that kind of thing, which is why it's a big shock when Jey Uso pins Roman Reigns in their tag match. He gets the advantage over them, which sets up Roman versus Jey Uso in tribal combat, which is just yet another word for a no disqualification match.
Tribal combat.
Tribal combat.
I don't like that one.
Like sort of stretching the limits of potential racism there.
I don't like that one.
But it's just a regular no disqualification match. And it ends when, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, Jimmy Uso turns on Jey and costs him the match.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Jimmy.
They don't immediately pay it off either. They separate Jey onto the other show to put off the match until WrestleMania, which is another example of just a story taking longer than it needs to in WWE.
I like that dude just like chilling in the background on the stairs. That's great.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like he's just present. Yeah, you know.
This is Paul Heyman, because obviously this means that Roman will definitely retain the match, so he's happy with this.
This is
going
why
on.
they need the cardboard cut out of him. He could have been in all
It's
these
true, yeah.
things.
It's true. It's true. Meanwhile, as we go on into the autumn, Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, after their big feud, begin their enemies to lovers arc. And I'm only slightly kidding. They team up against the Judgment Day, which is just another heel faction. It's not important, but they fight. This is their first signs of teaming up to fight a different cause.
I mean, I'll just say that those are not the outfits of straight men. I'm just saying, you know,
it gets
two
more
of them on screen at the same time. I mean,
what are the chances?
Yes.
Really?
Seth goes through this phase. He starts calling himself the Visionary, and as such, he starts wearing these like elaborate, ridiculous sort of outfits, which is quite a fun little personality trait. Are there any questions up until this point? Because we're about to get into the really complicated bit.
Is his chest okay now?
Oh yeah, Cody's been fully healed for like a year at this point. So,
I mean, obviously, what's Goldust up to at this point? Wearing like what?
He's just chilling. I think by this point he is one half of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, you really
so there you go.
One Piece, by the way, Ryan. This is
literally just One Piece.
Right. Royal Rumble 2024. This is where this shit gets so needlessly complicated. Right. The first step's simple. Cody Rhodes wins for the second year in a row. He wins back-to-back Royal Rumbles. This is a really cool moment because the tradition is when you win the Royal Rumble, you point up at that big WrestleMania sign to be like, that's where I'm going. Instead, Cody Rhodes is pointing and mouthing off all the way across the arena to Roman Reigns, who's like sitting up in a little skybox booth, like looking dominant as champion. It's like, oh yeah, fine, okay, this is the rematch. Cody's finally going to finish the story. It's got all this emotion. It's emotional, Dave. It's emotional, Dave.
I feel the emotions.
Come on. Then, The Rock turns up.
What the
and
fuck?
The Rock goes to Triple H, and this is real. This is out of character. This is real life. The Rock goes to Triple H, and he says, "Do you know what? I'd quite like to be in the main event of WrestleMania, you know." And Triple H goes, "Well, we're doing this story that I've built up for like 4 years, and this Cody story that I built up for 2 years." And The Rock goes, "Well, I'm on the board at TKO, who's the main event, who's the parent company for WWE. So I'd like to be in the main event of WrestleMania, please." So they have this fucking dog shit segment, like a week after the Royal Rumble, where Cody comes out and just gives up his Royal Rumble win and just says, "Okay, The Rock's going to fight Roman Reigns at WrestleMania instead." And he tries to like shake it. You don't really get it in this picture, but Cody just looks so devastated. He can't hide like how fucked up this is. And the fans see this and they tell WWE to fuck all the way off with this bullshit. Because, you know, it's a story we've been invested in for so many years, just being completely wiped away to stroke The Rock's ego, you know? So they start, social media and all stands, they start bringing signs. "We want Cody," becomes the chant. He is, yeah, he's sort of, you can see there, kind of, he's got the smile, but it's not hiding, especially when he opens his eyes. It's in his eyes that he is fully devastated by this. So, yeah, The Rock and Triple H and all this running WWE see that this huge backlash, and they're like, "Okay, fine."
The Rock
and
is
they
the
pivot...
worst thing to ever happen to wrestling.
Oh my god, don't. In the modern day, The Rock is the fucking worst.
Yeah, as I understand it, when all this upset was happening, people were just like completely fucking pleased with what was happening in the women's side of things, right? Like it was just like clean shot after clean shot.
Yeah, around this, like, in fact, basically through the entire time period, we said it starts around 2015 and just rises. That women's wrestling finally becomes something that WWE takes seriously. And it really is just on the up and up all throughout. And yeah, I'd say it probably does peak around 2024, 2023. You know?
Yeah, that's when like Rhea Ripley was on top.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley's still around. She's probably gonna win a world title of some description at WrestleMania this year or next year coming up.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah. Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah, so they hold this like kind of press conference, kind of just show in Las Vegas a little over a week after that previous segment happens. They get The Rock and Roman out. They bring up like the big Samoan family tree of like explaining the history of all the bloodline and all this and how this is going to be the biggest main event ever because it's The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Then Cody comes out and he goes, "Hey, you know when I gave up my Royal Rumble shot to you? I want to take that back, please. I'm going to fight Roman Reigns instead." And Seth Rollins is also there because he's the other world champion. So Cody could technically choose to fight either champion at WrestleMania. And that's what Roman Reigns pushes. Like, "No, this is a done deal. The number 2 table will seat you now." But Cody says, "No, fuck you. I'm going to fight Roman Reigns. I'm going to finish my story. I'm going to do this, that, and the other." And that's when The Rock starts getting in his face. And now officially, after originally trying to be the hero babyface fighting Roman Reigns, he turns heel. He aligns with Roman Reigns. The bloodline reaches its final form. He leans into the fact that he's like on the board at TKO. He becomes the final boss is what he starts calling himself. And this is what further ignites Cody and Seth's enemies to lovers thing, because it's like, well, hey, I don't like you, Cody, but if there's one guy I hate more, it's Roman Reigns because of their... what at this point I think can probably be described as generational trauma. So the dual main events for the 2 nights of WrestleMania are set up. Night 1 is Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. The stipulation is if Cody and Seth win, then the next night when Roman and Cody have their title match, it's going to be no interference. Everyone's going to be banned from ringside. It's just a straight, clean match. While if The Rock and Roman win, it's bloodline rules, which is just another fancy term for no disqualifications. Anything goes, everyone can interfere. That kind of thing. The heels win, the Rock and Roman win, which sets up a big chaotic brawl for night 2. The start of night 2, Seth Rollins defends and loses his world championship because of the beating he took in the main event the night before, which, by the way, was a decent match, but they obviously all played it very safe because they didn't want to get themselves injured for the main event the next night. It was kind of a double-edged sword. But yeah, Seth Rollins loses the World Championship to Drew McIntyre, who himself almost immediately loses it thanks to the Money in the Bank briefcase, but that's not relevant. But Seth's night's not over, because now it's time for the main event, the big finale. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes finally finishing the story. They go all out, making this a chaotic match that is also weirdly kind of a potted history of WWE. It's like a proper... They do their best to make it a full, like, Avengers Endgame style thing where they just throw everything in the pot to make it feel like this big finale. They come out, the two Usos who have still been feuding all year at this point, they spear each other off the stage. John Cena comes out and has a face-off with The Rock. The Undertaker even comes out and choke slams The Rock. All this kind of thing. It's a big chaotic affair. But what comes in at the end is what really matters, and what caps off this story makes it a fitting finale for The Shield. Which is that Seth Rollins comes back out. The Shield music hits. Seth Rollins comes out in Shield gear. We come down to, after all this chaos has happened, everyone goes in the ring. Roman Reigns and Cody are getting up in the ring. Seth is also laid out in the ring, and he slowly gets up on the ropes. Roman essentially has Cody dead to rights. Just like that. It's sort of like Roman Reigns is holding that chair. All he needs to do is hit Cody with it, and that's it. The reign continues. The tribal chief continues to be his dominance. But he turns... and he sees Seth Rollins standing up in the Shield gear with his back to Roman, the reverse of how the Shield broke up 10 years ago. And Roman, his ego, he just can't help himself. He swings the chair into Seth Rollins' back instead of Cody Rhodes, which is as the legend, what is now a legendary line, and also the most homoerotic thing Seth ever said in the build-up to WrestleMania, which is, Cody, let me be your shield. And he did it. He took the shot. He took the shot for Cody. It gave him the opening. Now, that's it. Now Roman Reigns gets to do the chair slam. It's all connected. It's all cinema. Cody takes the opening, pins Roman Reigns, and becomes WWE Undisputed Champion. He finishes the story. I am somewhere up in the stands of that arena in the press box, crying my little eyes out because I'm so happy, and it was so much fun. And that is where we are going to finish this story. As with wrestling, it does continue. It's various branches of it are still going on to this day, but we will finish our story here.
It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yes, exactly.
Incredible. Wow.
Wow.
So where's Goldust at this point?
Yeah, where is Goldust at this point?
He's still around at this point. As for today, as I say, he's currently out injured. He did win earlier in the year. He won his first major singles title in ages. He won it in, well, not his hometown, but in his home state in Texas. But then he went out injured shortly afterwards. So there you go. That's your Goldust update for the modern day.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
There you go.
So was Cody in the Shield?
No.
Is the Shield dead now?
Yeah, they haven't done another full reference to the Shield. To give a very brief story of what's happened since, CM Punk returns to WWE after not being here for ages, and it turns out Roman Reigns wasn't actually the number one person Seth hated the most. It was CM Punk. And that yada 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 culminates in the night one WrestleMania 41 main event, WrestleMania for this year just gone, which is a triple threat between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, which is basically the closest we will probably ever get to a second Shield triple threat. Because CM Punk, interestingly, while he was never in the Shield was his idea in real life. And he was, when they first debuted, they were like softly his bodyguards as well as kind of their own thing. So it culminates in that way. And that ends when, funnily enough, Paul Heyman actually is the most important factor in it, because he's obviously Roman Reigns' wise man throughout this. He's also one of CM Punk's best friends in real life and during his first run in the company. Paul Heyman turns on them both to align with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins then would go on to win the world title halfway through this year. And then, once again, like poetry, it rhymes because Seth Rollins got injured and had to vacate the title.
Ugh.
And that's about where we're at. This Sunday, it's going to be this Saturday even is going to be War Games, which is
this Sunday, Sunday.
Yeah. It's like Seth Rollins' new faction, but without Seth Rollins because he's injured, versus all of the top good guys in the company. So,
well,
yeah. And who has the Money in the Bank chest right now?
Yeah.
No. Oh, okay. So actually, that is a bit. This year, Seth Rollins won it for the second time. WWE then did an angle where they faked an injury for Seth Rollins, and they said, "Oh, he's out." But then CM Punk at SummerSlam wins the World Championship. Seth Rollins comes out, revealed that he was only faking the injury, even though everyone online knew that it was a fake injury. He cashes in and wins the title that way, which again is why poetry it rhymes. He then has to vacate the title because of a real injury, and it's like, well.
That is funny.
I want to congratulate you, Ryan, on having the shortest explanation we've had yet.
To be fair, our ones have been going on for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I could have given you like just a potted history of WWE in general.
We should have just done a history of the Rhodes family.
I guess, but I think the Bloodline story is the crux of what makes Cody's victory so cathartic. You know,
yeah.
It's all like, as much as Cody's thing is quite good as well. But...
Rhodes family lineage next time.
Also, you know, Goldust history, you know, throughout the 90s and early 2000s is just a lot of homophobia and transphobia. So, you know.
And we need to get to the bottom of why.
Because Vince McMahon is a homophobe and a transphobe.
Like One Piece, you know, there's redemption there. There can be good trans representation in WWE. Just somebody needs to care about doing that, you know?
There currently isn't. AEW actually does a decent job. They've had one trans woman be their women's champion. And they did for a while have a non-binary wrestler who competed in both divisions.
That's a pretty cool gimmick, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
being like the non-binary wrestler who does both. That's sick.
Mm. Yeah, it's one of those things that's kind of still the barrier that neither of the major companies are willing to break, is going full on into doing intergender wrestling. Because the indie scenes do it loads, and it's created loads of cool stories and great matches. But it's one of those things, if you're a publicly trading company who wants sponsors and stuff like that, it's a hard sell.
I'll invest in the first company that lets me hit a woman.
You know, it's like occasion, like halfway through this, like some of the catharsis was, you know, at one point in the Roman Reigns Triple H match, Roman Reigns speared Triple H's wife, who's also Vince McMahon's daughter, and it's like, oh, that was a cool moment. But
there's a lot of nepotism in wrestling, huh?
Yeah,
it's all nepotism.
It's all nepotism.
It's all just nepotism. Like half the people in it are like also like part of the board or like own some of the company or whatever.
I'm starting to think this world champ isn't even the best in the world. I'm starting to think.
Yeah. By the way, at the start of 2025, The Rock comes back and fucks up the story as well. Because he's there.
Right.
Yeah, he comes back for John Cena's heel turn at the start of the year, and then disappears.
Oh.
He sets it all up. He makes himself a huge factor in the story, and then doesn't turn up ever again. And instead, the main event of WrestleMania, instead of The Rock coming down to help John Cena win, Travis Scott comes down.
Okay.
To distract Cody and help Cena win the title.
I mean,
Travis Scott.
I mean,
he's the douchebag.
The Rock is fucking selling energy drinks at the Game Awards. He can't just show up to the WWE. All right. Black Adam 2 coming out any day.
This is the Travis Scott that was like, I actually think it's good that children were trampled at my concert, right? Like,
yep.
That one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, that douchebag who's not a wrestler and has never been involved in wrestling aside from those two angles.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
But this is it. It's sort of like this is WrestleMania 40. Cody winning title is like the height of the second boom period WWE enjoyed following Vince McMahon's ousting and into Triple H. Like sort of SummerSlam 2022 through SummerSlam 2024 is kind of WWE's boom period in the modern era. And then it's kind of trailed off. Like, it's not bad these days, but it's just not what it was a couple of years ago. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they have to walk this really fine line, right, between like giving long-term fans like nostalgia bait, right, and like newer fans actually something interesting to watch. So it's always going to be a little bit dicey.
And to be fair, under Vince McMahon, they got that very, very wrong. You know, it's like this is why old men like Goldberg and Triple H would still be winning world titles and all this bullshit. You know.
I mean, it's the people that I know that are like really into wrestling. You know, they're all like they've been all in on like the women's side of things for years because like there isn't that desire to just like fall back onto nostalgia shit all the time.
No, this is it. And to be honest, when they do lean into the nostalgia side of women's wrestling, it's a nice catharsis because it's like these were all women who were really good but never got the chance to really show what they could do in their day, right? Because women's wrestling wasn't treated as a prestigious thing. But now they get the chance to actually showcase it.
Yeah. So how much does it cost to do a pay-per-view? Is it like a $20 thing or is that much more?
It depends where you are. For a while, it was when we're in the start of like 2012, most of the big pay-per-views cost like $50, and there's one every month. In 2014, WWE started their own streaming service, which was $10 a month. They then meshed that with NBC's Peacock, which again, so you subscribe to it through that. While in the UK at the moment, WWE is entirely on Netflix. So it's just the cost of a Netflix subscription. While in the US, it's now right. In the US at the moment, it's now on ESPN's premium service, which I think is like $30 a month.
They should have been.
And is good and fine.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. We have nothing bad to say about ESPN.
And we never have.
Never have.
Same
we love ESPN and their parent company, Disney Corporation.
The Walt Disney Interactive Entertainment Corporation has been one of the best companies I've ever had the pleasure of staring at from a distance and never interacting with.
It's true.
Oh, dear.
I love Deadpool VR.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, then. Well, is that it then? Are we done?
That is it. I mean, look, if you want, I can talk about rest of the. Do you want to go through John Cena's entire career? I can do that.
Only if you got a presentation ready.
No, I haven't. But...
Why do we bother? All right, then. Well, I enjoyed that.
Thank you.
It's good. It's good, Tia. I hope you enjoyed it. And if anyone ever watches this on the replay, I hope you enjoyed it too.
Yeah, thanks cool. Dorian Terry 15 for coming in saying one thing and then bouncing the rest of the stream.
I was like, hey, it's Tezza. Tezza's here.
And then no.
Yeah. Don't think Tezza continues to be here, but you know. I hope you learned something, Tia, because I did. I did.
And then tomorrow we'll be back on One Piece, I guess. All right.
Let's see if we can make it. Let's see. Can we finish the story, Dave? Finish the story.
Not.
We're gonna have to go real fast.
If we start literally like as soon as we log on, we can probably get through it. Otherwise, not so much.
Oh.
And even then, I'm not 100% sure. If we streamed for 8 straight hours, I'm not 100% sure that we could get through it.
It'll be easy. One stream. I don't think we could do another 3-hour stream.
Yeah, no, probably not.
It was brutal. All right, then. Thanks for watching, Tia. I guess that's us gone. See you later.
There are.
Tomorrow.